I do is always big. I don't do small things. So we're going on YouTube to follow Srila Prabhupada.
The following is the class on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 7, Text number 24, given by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on 21st September 1976 in Vrindavan.
Sri Gurun
Translation. And yet, though you are beyond the purview of the material energy, you execute the four principles of liberation, characterized by religion and so on, for the ultimate good of the conditioned souls.
Saiva jiva lokasya maya mohita chetasa vijatsya sena vijjena sreya dharmadi lakshanam. So, Krishna, who is described in the previous verse, Tam Adya Purusha, the original person. Original person, absolute truth, that is described in the Vedanta Sutra, Janmadasya Jataha, original person, just like in our family wise or Guru Parampara wise, there is somebody original person. So, similarly, the whole creation, there is original person. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Aham asan agre, aham asam agre. In the Vedic literature, Eka Narayana asit. So, Eko Narayana asit, that is original person. And Krishna says, Aham agre asit. So he is the original person, Adyam. In the Bhagavad Gita also it is said, Param Brahma Parang Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusam Adyam. So Krishna is the original person. And if somebody questions that if Krishna is the original person, who is the origin of Krishna? Naturally, we can ask that because our experience is different. That answer is there in the Brahma Samhita. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadi Adi. Anadi Adi. He is Adi Addam Purusam. But if you question who is the cause of Krishna, Anadi, he has no cause. That is God. You go on searching after, one after another, my origin is my father father's origin is his father's origin is his father. In this way, you go on researching, then come to Brahma. Brahma is Adi Kavi. In this material world, in this universe, Adi Kavi. Tene Brahma Rida Adi Kavaye. So he is very Adi, original, first created beings. Then who is his Adi? Where from Brahma is coming? That is Krishna. Tene Brahma Rida Adi Kavaye. So, in this way, when we come to Krishna, making a Brahma is coming from Vishnu, Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, Swambhu, he is born of the lotus flower. That Garbhodakshayi Vishnu is coming from Karanodakshayi Vishnu. Karanodakshayi Vishnu is coming from Sankarshan. Sankarshan is coming from Aniruddha from Pradyumna, like that. Ultimately, Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is Adyam. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Matta parataram nanyat. There is no word. Well, that is God. You go on researching, Adyam. When you come to a point, there is no more Adyam. That is God. Ishara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadi Radi Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. Saiva, that Adi Purush, that original person, he comes down, descends in this material world. Jivaloka Sa. This is called Jivaloka. This material is called Jivaloka because here Atma, the soul is covered, conditioned. We have given the meaning Jivaloka means when the Atma is conditioned, that is called Jivaloka. There is no freedom. Just like there are so many planets. You have got aeroplane, but because you have got aeroplane, you cannot go there. Condition. You cannot go. They are trying 1, 2 planets, moon planet or Mars planet. No, you cannot go there. What to speak of other planets? If you want to go there, then you have to qualify yourself. Not that because you have got a machine, you can go there. No, that is not possible. Therefore, condition. Condition means you have to fulfill the condition. Just like from here, if I want to go to America, then I have to fulfill the condition. The visa condition, the passport condition, the health condition, the custom condition, so many conditions. You cannot go immediately, or nobody can come from there also. In every respect we are conditioned. Every respect. This body is conditioned. You cannot enjoy this body unconditionally. No, that is not possible. You have to change. Dehi nasmin yatha dehi kaumarang jauvanang jara. The body has to be changed. A baby has to be changed to become a boy. A boy has to be changed to become a young man. A young man has to be changed to an old man. You cannot stop that. Therefore, it is called jivaluk, condition. Every one of us is conditioned. Animal is conditioned. He cannot, there are so many animals in the jungles. They are conditioned. They cannot come in the city or in the town. We are conditioned. We cannot go to the jungle. Condition. Every step there is condition. So, that is our bondage. We are Mamaivangsha Jiva Bhuta. We are part and parcel of Krishna. Why you are conditioned? The condition is because Maya Mohita Chetasa. Maya Mohita. they are bewildered by Maya. Maya means what is not. Maya. So, because we are under the clutches of Maya, this material world, therefore we have been conditioned. And what is that Maya? That Maya is forgetfulness of our relationship with God. That is Maya. Krishna bhuliya, jeev bhogavansha kare. This jeev. When we forget Krishna, our relationship with Krishna, what is the relationship? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Jiver Sarup hai Nitya Krishna Das. That is our relationship. We are eternal servant of Krishna. When we forget this and we want to be master of all I survey, I am the monarch of all I survey, I think I shall become
Okay, my question.
independent.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear us okay?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes,
Where did Srila Prabhupada start today?
he started with you. He said with Krishna being the Adi Purusha, that Krishna is the origin, the original person, and then he made some really nice things about I come from my father, and my father comes from his father, but Krishna is, and he then went on a bit about even to talk about how Lord Brahma has created the universe, but where did the Lord Brahma came from? He came from the lotus and in Vishnu's belly, and all the different Vishnus that Mahavishnu and Garbhavaksai Vishnu, that they all pervade. They're all expansions from the original Krishna,
Okay.
the Adi Purusha.
Let us remember, I am Purusha, Adi Purusha Das. I am not Adi Purusha.
We're so thankful we say your name so we remember the Adi Purusha.
The name Adi Purusha means that Krishna has the most fun. God is the one who has the most fun. He's the foremost enjoyer. So then, after he establishes by so many quotes, Aham Savasya Prabhu, I'm the source of the material and spiritual world, everything emanates from me, all these different verses, Sarva Karna Karnam, I'm the cause of all causes, and he establishes that Krishna is the original. Then what does he say? What does
There's no cause for him being the original person. He says that there's no cause for him being the original person.
Right. And then he mentions that Krishna comes to the area inhabited by the jiva, the conditioned souls. Krishna comes here. And what does he say about the conditioned soul?
That we are forgetful of our relationship with Krishna. And that covers us in Maya's illusion, which is forgetfulness.
Right. Yeah, the conditioned souls are conditioned, they are limited. And he gives the analogy just like to come to a certain country, you have to have the visa, you have to have the passport, you have to have the health condition, you have to have the transportation, you have to go through customs. So there are conditions for a conditioned soul. Krishna is not conditioned, but we are conditioned. And you nailed it very clearly. The ultimate cause of the conditioning is Krishna Buli, Japati Adari. When we start to think, well, I'm the master, I'm the controller, I'm the center, everything depends on me. And when we start to try to assume, when a conditioned soul assumes, pretends, aspires to be the controller and the enjoyer, then we are fallen. But our real condition is what? What does he say? Lord Chaitanya explains our real situation.
Servant of the Lord.
Right. Jivera Swarupaya Nitira Krishna Das. That our constitutional position is to be the servant. And then that is our reality, that is the reality. Anything else Srila Prabhupada says, somebody remembers?
He said that I think he said that because we're conditioned that we cannot enjoy unconditionally like God, like Krishna.
Our enjoyment is not direct. By pleasing Krishna, we are satisfied. Our satisfaction is a byproduct. If we endeavor for that directly, then that is, we are misdirected, and we cannot actually become satisfied. Ahetukiya pratiyata, unceasing, unmotivated, devotional service to the Lord is the only thing that will satisfy the self. It's so simple. And he gives the analogy, if you're putting on lipstick and you look in the mirror, the image in the mirror has lipstick. You didn't put lipstick on the image, but because the original entity is being decorated, then the image in the mirror is decorated. So when we serve Krishna, as a byproduct, we are satisfied, because that is our constitutional position. We cannot change that, but we can choose to act according to that and be satisfied. It's not that it's totally useless and we'll never become happy. We'll never become happy in an artificial way, but there's a genuine way to become satisfied. Anything else? Okay, let's go on, Mike. We'll go see what else Srila Prabhupada has.
And I shall enjoy, I shall improve my economic condition, and I shall be very happy. This is called Maya Mohita Chetas. He will never be, because he is conditioned. You cannot improve. That is not possible. That is called destiny. So the Western people, they say, oh, why should we animal take? You cannot improve the condition. Suppose the pig, he is conditioned to live in a very filthy place and eat stool, urine. You cannot improve that condition. By philanthropic mentality, if you want to improve his condition, not to live in filthy place, not to eat stool, if you try to give them halwa instead of stool, they cannot. That is not possible. This is called condition. Therefore, Shastra says that you are conditioned, you cannot change the condition, so there is no need of endeavoring for changing the condition. That is not possible. Devi Jesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Durattvaya, Krishna says. Maya Mama Maya Durattvaya. It is not that. Suppose if you are in the prison house, you are shackled. You cannot improve your condition. You must be shackled. You are put in a cell. You must live there. Similarly, this is useless effort. The so-called Maya Mahita Chetasa, the whole material world is like that. They are trying to improve the condition. But that is not possible. Therefore they are called Maya Mohita Chetas. Simply, he is thinking that if I do like this, if I go a step forward, I shall improve my condition. No, that is not possible. Again and again, That is described in another place that Nati vidu sarthagating hi Vishnu durashayaji bahirathamanina andajatha puna punachar vitacharvanana matinna krishne parato sato va mitho vipaddita grihabhritana grihabhritana matinna krishne. Those who have taken it a vow that I shall remain in this family life and improve my condition, grihabhritana, grihabhrata, grihastha and grihabhrata are different. Grihastha means grihastha ashram. A man is living with husband and wife or children, but the aim is how to improve spiritual life. That is grihastha ashram. And one who has no such aim, he simply wants to enjoy the senses, and for that purpose he is decorating the house, decorating the wife, children. That is called grihabhrata. Or grihamedhi. In Sanskrit there are different terms for different meaning. So, those who are grihabhrata, they cannot be Krishna conscious. Matinna Krishne parato satova. Parato means by the instruction of Guru or instruction of authority, parato. And satova, sata means automatically. Automatically is not possible even by instruction. Because his vow is that I shall remain in this way, grihabhritana. Matinna Krishne parato sato va mitho vipaddita, mitho, but by conference, by meeting, by passing resolution, if we want to become Krishna conscious, that is not possible. It is all individual. I have to surrender to Krishna individually. Just like when you go to the sky on aeroplane, it is all individual. If one aeroplane is in danger, other aeroplane cannot save it. That is not possible. Similarly, it is all individual. It is not parato sato va. One has to take it seriously, personally, that Krishna wants, so I will surrender. Krishna said, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam saranam vraja, so I will do it. Not that when my father will do, then I shall do, or my husband will do, then I shall do, or my wife will do. No. It is all individual. It is all individual. And there is no restraint. There is no restraint. Ohito ki apratihata. If you want to surrender to Krishna, nobody can check it. Ohito ki apratihata. Jeno atma samprasidati. When you do that individually, if we, collectively, if it is done, it is good. But it has to be done individually. So, because every one of us are Maya Mahita Cheta. Maya Mahita Cheta. Prahlad Maharaj has described Vimukha Chetasa. Maya Mahita Chetasa means averse to Krishna. I want everything except Krishna. That is Maya Mahita Chetasa. I want everything, but except Krishna. That is my missing point. Because we are rascals, fools, we do not know what we should want. Nate vidu sath gating hi Vishnu. He does not know that his actual want is Krishna. Just like a small child crying. And we are trying to pacify him, giving this, giving that. But he is crying, because his actual want is his mother. And as soon as the mother comes, takes the child on the lap, immediately it stops. Similarly, we want Krishna because we are part and parcel of Krishna. That we want. Just like a part and parcel of a machine. If it is taken away from the machine, it has no one screw. Suppose your typewriter machine, one screw is missing and the machine is not working nicely. So without the machine, that one screw has no value. If it is lying somewhere, one does not know what is the screw, nobody cares for it. It is no worth. But if you want to complete the machine, if you want to go to purchase it in a mechanical shop, that very screw, which has no value, you have to purchase at 10 rupees. Because it is to be fitter. In this way, we are parcel and parcel of Krishna, part and parcel of Krishna. When we are along with Krishna, we have got value. Otherwise, there is no value. There are so many examples. This finger, when it is attached to the body, if there is any trouble, you can spend thousands of rupees to cure the trouble. But if the finger is cut off, amputated, and thrown on the street, it is no value. No value. Similarly, so long we are maya mahita cetasa, out of Krishna's touch, we have no value. No value. Valueless. Useless. That is our position. Matinna Krishna parato sato va. Mitho. The position is that Adanta Gobhi Visatang Tamisram. When we forget Krishna, what is that forgetfulness? When you are interested in sense gratification, that is called forgetfulness. Everyone is, even an animal, a small insect, everyone is interested in sense enjoyment. Just this morning I was reading in the Bhagavatam, one somebody, Muni, he was a great yogi, and within the water he was executing the yoga mystic, and he saw that the two fishes are enjoying sex. So he became sexually inclined, old man, yogi. So he went to Mandata king that you give me one daughter, your daughter. So he was within the water, old man, and old man's bodily feature is not very good. The king knew that this is a useless person, but he is a yogi. He has come to ask me for a daughter. So he said that, yes, you are welcome. I have got my 50 daughters. So anyone will like you, he can accept. I have no objection. So Sauvani Muni understood that the king has tactfully avoided to give his daughter. So he was a yogi. So he made himself very beautiful young man. That yogi can do that. They can change because we are not this body. The body is old, it can be younger, but it can be older. Nowadays in medical science they are also doing. A man, a woman is man. Body can be changed. There is no difficulty if you know the process. So he changed to be a very nice, beautiful young man. So all the 50 daughters, they become attracted. They began to fight. Oh, he is for me. He is not for you. So anyway, he accepted all the 50 daughters. In this way, he became very elevated householder. But at some time he began to think, what is my this enjoyment? Simply by seeing the sex affairs of the feast, I was a yogi, I was a tapasvi, I've lost everything. Now I am a householder and pet husband of this woman. So he came to his senses. Again he went to the forest for tapasya. So this material life.
Hare Krishna. Where did Srila Prabhupada start this section? Who can remember?
He spoke about destiny and how we can't really improve our destiny. And he made an example. He gave us an example of a pig who lives in a pen and eating stool, that we can't really change that condition.
That's a very good point. Prahlad Maharaj elaborates a little bit, and he says that a certain amount of suffering is coming to me in this life. A certain amount of suffering is coming to me in this life. I cannot change that. A certain amount of enjoyment is coming. I'm not seeking the suffering, but it comes automatically. The enjoyment comes automatically. So we've heard, the goal of my life is not to achieve pleasure or avoid pain, but to do God's will, come what may. So our focus is not on improving our material condition. He said that the Griha Maidi is always decorating the house, decorating the woman, and this is not going to actually satisfy. Very good point. Our conditioned state is there, fixed. But what we can choose to do is use the time to serve Krishna and improve our spiritual life, improve our sadhana, and increase our effort to share Krishna consciousness with others and please Krishna. It's not that there's no solution, but there's no material solution. No matter how much you adjust the conditions on the sinking Titanic, I'll get another pillow, I'll get a bigger room. No, you have to get off the boat. You're just fighting. Prabhupada, what did I hear recently about the different political parties? They're fighting to see who will have control of the steering wheel on a sinking ship. It's ridiculous. Anyway, what else did Srila Prabhupada say? I'm sorry, I spoke too long.
Adi,
Yeah.
um, so first of all, you look undecorated without a garland. Thank you for holding service today. Thank you, Adi. It's a beautiful, beautiful class.
Oh, good.
Yes. And so I have a question about what we're covering. Sometimes people get sick, and sometimes the medicine is eating meat. What is this? Is it our consciousness that we need to direct ourselves in this way, or should we try and hold back?
It's not recommended. In Prabhupada's pastime, when he was ill as a child, the doctor said he must have chicken soup, that his father didn't comply with that. So they may say, break the principles, but we know that's not necessary.
Prabhupada also has said sometimes if someone has something like anemia, first they offer it to Kali, and then they take of the goat. So it's a little confusing.
Okay, the Vedas are very intricate, and included in the Veda is what to do with someone who will not follow the principles. And it says, better to be a meat eater in the house of Veda than a vegetarian without Veda compliance. So it's true, there are compliance, just like if you want to buy cigarettes. In my youth, a package of cigarettes was 25 cents, and now it's $17 for one package of cigarettes. But the tax put by the government at least regulates the consumption of tobacco. The alcohol is not distributed to people under age. So that if you can't stop, then there's a way of doing it. And the way of eating meat recommended in the Vedas is, okay, you don't kill cow, you kill goat. And you kill the animal with your own hand. And you whisper in the animal's ear, in the next life you can cut my throat. So the regulation helps us to clarify what we're doing. Not that there's a big slaughterhouse and we purchase a package in the supermarket in plastic, but you see the animal crying and struggling and suffering and create the cut on the throat with your own hand. So,
No, this is very understandable, Adi. But like I said, what if she is sick and falling down like she has anemia?
Can I speak to this?
please.
All right. As someone who majored in nutrition for 3 years until I got to organic chemistry, hold on, let me turn off my other phone. We have this argument presented before us from the West, and that is a country, a culture that has been propagandized to say that our nutrition has to come from meat because people benefited from meat eating. As Adi said, because people financially benefited from the slaughter of animals. This is basically it. If people did not benefit financially from the slaughter of animals, there'd be little slaughtering going on. People are doing that. So you will get propaganda, that propaganda that you need the B12 or the creatine or the protein that meat has. And what are you going to do as a vegetarian? Eat bark? Paula was just remarking the other day of how wonderful the variety is of Krishna conscious prasad. It's just unlimited with just the ingredients of added milk. That's why the cow is so sacred to us, because actually she gives us more protein in the form of milk, and the ox plows the ground from which we get our vegetables, and it all makes perfect sense. I myself was a vegetarian back when I was a fighter in college, and benefited from that. And just, made sure that I had the God's, a cornucopia of prasad or food, to make sure that my protein was balanced. So these and it's been heard before. I know a lot of people who are not members of the movement and they want to be vegetarians, but they say, I just lose my energy or something like that because I don't have meat or something like that. And that's because, of course, they're not eating the rich, wholesome prasad that we have to offer, and of which we have to pay attention to, that if we're eating lots of fruits and vegetables and fasting and stuff like that, we make the body healthier than it's ever been. But as far as scripturally concerned, we have to weigh, and I'll end this up really quick. We have to weigh ourselves. Do we want that karmic debt that occurs when there's the death of a creature for our one meal that we have deprived? Because every animal wants to live. I'm on a farm. I watch. I've seen animals come. I've seen animals get born, and I've seen animals die slowly and quickly. And they're just like us. They want to live. They want to be, and they want to exist. And it's the primary fundamental aspect of existence, is to maintain our existence. And there is panic and fear and suffering in the animal, what to speak of how they raise them. So in no way, sense, or form that you can justify the eating of meat, even for anemic purposes, because the karmic load far outweighs the tiredness. And if you really want to get if somebody is specifically anemic, then they have to make sure that they get B12, which means they have to eat a lot of really dark green leafy vegetables. They do have to make adjustments to their diet, but most importantly, we have to make adjustments to our soul's diet. And our soul's diet is first and foremost of all things, as the Buddha said, do no harm. Do no harm. Because if you do harm, guess what? You're in the material world. It's coming back around on you. And no amount of anemia is going to save you as an excuse from engaging in licentious meat eating. I'm sorry for rambling on there, but this is a very important point. Hare Krishna.
I have an illustration of a green leafy vegetable like this.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
That's what they'll say. Green leafy vegetables. Okay.
Bhima,
Hare Krishna. I think the last Prabhu said it very well, but I just wanted to share on this because I have a friend she's not a devotee anymore, but she's not practicing anymore. She's initiated. And when she was pregnant, her doctor told her she had to eat meat, and she ended up eating meat. And I asked my Gurudev about it, and he said that it's because she had the desire inside of her to eat meat. And then my husband, he's going through cancer, and many of the people at the hospital, like the nutritionists and stuff and doctors, have told him to eat meat. But of course he hasn't. But so it's just something that we go through. And I guess if that person has the desire somewhere inside them to do it, that Krishna facilitates that desire by the doctor telling them that and sees it like it's a test, That's what I have experienced in my time.
The question is, who are you going to listen to? The blind leading the blind, and everybody winds up in the ditch. So there are a lot of ideas out there, but the best thing is to listen to Veda. Prabhupada says a whole lot about this. He said they desire to taste the blood of the cow, but the cow is taking her blood, turning it into milk, and then giving the milk freely. And from the milk you get cream, from cream you get butter, from butter you get ghee, and everything you need is there without slaughter. It's not that something might be needed, but animal slaughter is not the only way to solve the problem.
I just
thank
want
you, Adi.
to.
Thank you. I'll contact Bhima. Thank you.
Great. Okay, here comes Krishna. Gorsharan, is there some temple equipment? Because this is dying. Chord here, chord here, chord here.
No, the pass
What? The code for this? The code. Does anybody know the code for the temple equipment? Yes. He's got it.
Govinda Hari Purusha Brajami Govinda Hari Purusha Namaha Brajami.
Give me it.
I think I muted the wrong phone. I'm sorry.
By grace, one can dwell in fear, suffering, pain, and virtue and issues. I only wish that my consciousness purified by my word emanating from his lotus mouth. Action of the lotus feet, action of the lotus mouth. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendent thought. He is my Lord, birth and the good. From his ecstatic train and light. I am rejoiced, destroyed. Sinless death. Our spiritual master is ocean and mercy, and of the Lord, Lord master of the religious. O master and merciful, you wish to share the liberty, your fame spread all the free world. Take shelter of the lotus feet, Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to the Afterglow. Dear devotees, would anyone like to share a reflection or ask a question? Man has her hand up.
Yeah, just wanted to share that I've been anemic all my life. And at times it could get quite intense where it's not like I get just tired, I could actually pass out. And so for most of my adult life, I have had to supplement, eat meat. And there's a time even before coming to Krishna consciousness, maybe like 3-4 years before learning about Krishna, I started having very difficult feelings towards eating meat. And it wasn't because I had any sort of uh, feelings toward it. It was just that whenever I was sitting in front of a piece of meat, I'll just feel just really terrible. And at some point I just started crying. So I thought maybe I'm not supposed to eat meat. But after I came to Krishna consciousness and hearing about what we should really put in our bodies, it was really nice. And I can't really eat a lot of milk products either because I'm lactose intolerant. And if I go to Western doctors, the usual prescription is that I have to eat meat and fish and eggs. And so I was having a little bit of trouble. There's a fear in me a little bit. Oh my God, if I cut it off entirely, it may just be really, really bad. And last year, there was a point because I wasn't paying attention to actually what I was eating in terms of, dealing with anemia, things got kind of quite bad. And I went to see an Ayurvedic doctor, and it was really nice. He gave me a few natural supplements, and he just told me to eat a lot of green vegetables and beets. And that sort of inspired my partner to grow tons of very dark green leaves from not just kales and broccoli, stuff like that, but even from stuff from like Japan, different kinds of greens that we can have. So that's been really amazing. I mean, not everyone can do that, but I wanted to share that because something about doing that has helped me to appreciate even having this condition, because growing vegetables and offering that and eating that has been such a not just joyful thing, but knowing that I have this condition, but somehow Krishna inspiring us to live this way and take care of our bodies. It helped me to sort of like look at my body differently and um, be thankful. So yeah, I just wanted to share that.
Thank you, Min, for your testimony.
Mm. Harry Bowman, this this devotee was raised a vegetarian, a very strong vegetarian with lots of leafy greens. It's a little hard. She drinks and eats milk, yogurt, and uh, what have you. It's it's a little hard.
Yeah, that sounds really difficult.
We simply need to learn to ask ourselves scientifically, what is it in the meat that the body is gaining? Now, luckily, we've had enough scientific advancement to be able to dissect into the proteins that are available. There's 13 amino acids, which ones we don't get from vegetables. And how are we going to get this amino acid that's necessary? Where are we going to get the hemoglobin strengthening iron if we don't get it from the hemoglobin strengthening iron that we get from the blood of an animal? There is an answer, because Krishna is perfect. There is an answer for all of these things, and it doesn't necessarily mean you have to take a slew of pills. I myself make sure that I take spirulina every day or super greens. Super greens are your answer, basically. Not everybody can eat enough enough spinach or kale in a day to make up for that lack. But if you go for superfoods, of which there are many, including certain mushrooms, if you take it as a supplement, there's nothing wrong with eating, lion's mane or something like that. And then there's also certain forms of protein and from like spirulina and chlorella and wheatgrass and stuff like that. It doesn't require a lot, and it's readily available and very, very palatable. But you have to be vigilant. And in as much trouble as you went through, sitting there staring at a piece of meat that that was part of an animal that screamed when it died, that's a lot of trouble. So you go through a little trouble on the other end, which is I'm going to investigate. What is it that meat, blood, is offering me, chemically speaking, that my body needs? And that has already been worked out. And you find out about it. And if you really want, if meat didn't taste great, if it was bitter, if that blood was as bitter as it really is spiritually, nobody be eating it. And no matter how nutritious it is, nobody be eating it, but it is quite frankly what Adi said. There's something in you that wants that. And I'll be very quick about this. We shouldn't be ashamed of that. That's our animal nature, at least the carnivorous side of it. I have carnivores. I live with carnivores. They love to hunt, the cats and the dog, and I see coyotes everywhere and foxes and stuff. They love to hunt and they love to take down their prey. And The cats are particularly cruel because they keep the prey alive and have fun with it until they dispatch it. So yeah, that's there in us, and the desire is there. It's a very deep and dark place to be, but you have to transcend that. Just like any other desire, we have to transcend it. And the good Lord, Om Purnam, he's perfect. He's made it available. This information is available and very convenient. If you go to Whole Foods, get some super green bottles. Yes, it costs a lot, but not as much as deer meat will cost you. So there is an answer. Hare Krishna.
Haribo. Haribo.
There is an answer, and Bhima Prabhu has it.
One additional thing I'd like to say, it revolves around the chronic fatigue surrounding anemia. And sometimes what I've noticed is when we aren't honoring our body's natural needs, and pushing beyond that chronic fatigue, that's when we can start to get into trouble. You know, a lot of Western advice, a lot of fitness advice is kind of push your body to its limit. And in chronic fatigue, when we're dealing with some of these things that create it, if we're pushing our bodies so far that we are to the point of passing out, then we're doing ourselves a disservice. So recognizing that we have different needs. If we have some of these conditions, we can't exercise like our friend. We can't push our bodies to the limit. That can really help offer compassion to ourselves and recognize that sometimes anemia is calling us to deeply rest.
I want to be
This is a really
clear.
nice
This
discussion.
person wasn't exercising. They fell while walking. I just want to be clear.
The chronic fatigue syndrome is the same as depression. It's called a toxic overload, and the body is just exhausted from dealing with toxins, whether it be environmental or dietary. Or emotional. And then, of course, emotional. I mean, you know, somebody who's been brought up. And then, of course, it can be inherited. And we often say, oh, why did God give me this burden of a body that eventually succumbs in some way, shape, or form to lupus or immune deficiency? I know a lot of people who suffer, especially these days. Quite frankly, these days, you see a lot, especially women. And because women are very sensitive, the body's much more in tune with nature. And as we all know, nature's in an uproar. And we're in it. We're in that uproar, and a woman will instantly assimilate that tiredness. It's Mother Earth being tired. And yeah, you do what you got to do. You know what you do? Adi taught me this. It's one of the greatest things ever. Of course, Prabhupada taught it, and all scriptures teach it. And this is this. Pray for an answer, and then be patient, and Krishna will give you the answer. And you know what? If it is something like, okay, we won't eat cow, but we'll eat some eggs. I have neighbors who have hens that live the life of Riley. I mean, they just have it good, and they are protected at night from foxes and etc. And they have a rooster that wakes everybody up in the morning and stuff like that. And they just lay eggs everywhere. Okay, so if there's something in the meat category that doesn't cause suffering to another animal, then, you know, if the chickens are free running and stuff like that, if that's what you have to go to, then offer these. Now, of course, Krishna doesn't want any of that, but Krishna wants you to offer everything. So the big thing is to pray, be patient, and do what you can. As Adi said, in the Vedas, they make concessions, because better a carnivore in the Vedic principle, which is on the path leading to Krishna, than being a vegetarian going nowhere. So, yeah. So don't worry. Have faith. Krishna will take care. Some of us are bound to be wearisome in our physically in our lives, but the Lord himself said, some will come to me through goodness, and some will be so weary they are thrown into my lap. So remember, there's different ways to Krishna, and one of them is we have bodily suffering. Hare Krishna.
It's a really good discussion. I'm just appreciate your insights on that, Bhima. And one of the things really striking is, emotional. Are we if we're in emotional pain? So what happens is the internal, because we are beings, the internal manifests into our external world. Whatever is happening in our being inside will manifest in the external world. So a really beautiful question to ask along the lines you're saying is, my dear Lord Krishna, why do I need this right now? Why do I need this situation? And how can I come from this breakdown to having a breakthrough? And then we know in Bhakti, the essence is to please Krishna. So how can I have a breakthrough? Because you're showing me something about myself through this situation. This isn't just something that's random and has, no correlation. This is going to correlate with something that you're trying to show me. What is it? Show me, and how can I come closer to you through this? And we'll have a breakthrough. Every breakdown is meant for us to have a breakthrough.
Great point, Maturanath Prabhu. Thank you very much. Has anyone satisfied Krishna sufficiently to their heart's contempt? No. You can't ever glorify Krishna enough. Jeffrey Akbar Prabhu is hinting to me through his smile.
No, Krishna is amazing. Thank you for Krishna. Thank you, Krishna. Thank you for you.
Jai. Jai Shri Krishna. Okay. Karen, where are our reciters?
I'll try not to hang up on you this time.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Thank you so much, Isaiah and Annabelle. Thank you for not chanting loudly. Thank you. How wonderful is Krishna? How wonderful is Adipurusha Prabhu? How wonderful is Srila Prabhupada? How wonderful are all the assembled Vaishnavas? Hare Krishna, we love you and we need you. Happy Monday. Give it to Krishna and come again tomorrow.